The Flame of Love of the Immaculate Heart of Mary, the Spiritual Diary. Chapter 5, Episode 70. Happiness in Confession, January 15th, 1965. Jesus said, "Your soul, my little one, is the receptacle of my divine words. Do not tremble. It is thus, even though you feel unworthy. You know well that I make use of your littleness, your ignorance, and your humility to gain my purpose. Above all, I stress your humility." Satan could not incite to sin. February 4th, 1965. This morning, I woke up very relieved. The Lord Jesus said, "Peace be with you." I couldn't not accept this word in my heart. At the words of the Lord Jesus, the desired peace entered my heart. This peace gave me an unmistakable strength. The Lord Jesus said, "My little one, have you suffered much? Satan, deprived of the light of his eyes, could not incite you to sin. A fierce anger overwhelmed him when he learned that it is you who were to transmit my holy will, and this is why he wanted to blot it out of your mind. It is through a merit of your suffering that my divine splendor enlightens the divine origin of the demonstrated facts in the souls of those called to transmit the cause. The opposing camp will be large, and you will still have to suffer much so the cause can triumph. Give an account of the state of your soul to your confessor." Bread for the Family, February 14th, 1965. During adoration, the Lord Jesus reminded me. Jesus said, "Leave now. You must get bread for your family." I had forgotten this completely. With deep gratitude, I thanked him that his attention extended also to our earthly needs. On the way, I kept adoring him. When I entered the bakery, I remembered that it was Saturday, and I asked, "Do you still have bread?" They said no. I was scared. What will happen now? When I was about to leave, I heard them call me. They had reserved a bread, but the one for whom they had set it aside did not come to get it. At once I said, "My adorable Jesus." Jesus said, "I am the one. Do you see? The time you spend with me should not harm your family." We walked home together in silence. I speak thus because he filled me with his presence. Immersed in him, I kept adoring him. March 25th, 1965. The Lord Jesus said, "Act with all your strength. This is what pleases me the most about you. The more a bow is bent, the more accurately it can hit the mark. You also must extend your strength of will, and thanks to it, the arrow will not deviate from its goal, which is nothing else than heaven." Being with you, April 7th, 1965. I spoke with the sister who accompanies me and told her that the Lord Jesus is acting as if he had forgotten me. In those moments, I feel so far from him. On that same day, while I was was busy with my grandchildren at home, I adored the Lord Jesus in the depth of my soul, and I made reparation. I felt that the words I spoke to him had flown to infinite heights. Then he surprised me. Jesus said, "Why do you think that I am far away in the heights above you? Really, I am standing right now next to you." While the Lord Jesus was talking through these waves of special feelings, my soul experienced the Blessed Virgin with her captivating love, saying to the Lord Jesus, Mary said, "She is my special one also." And they allowed me to understand that they were talking about me. The Blessed Virgin was so merged in the love of the Most Holy Trinity that I could hardly distinguish her in my heart. I was surprised by that, and in my admiration, the Lord Jesus allowed me to be immersed in extraordinarily wonderful things. Jesus said, "This is not ecstasy, just a form of it. Therefore, your bodily powers can endure it." Meanwhile, he initiated me into heavenly things, which I was unaware of until now. I cannot put these realities into words. On the following day, the Lord Jesus also spoke about this during Holy Mass, but I am unable to write about these things. You will never be refused. April 12th, 1965. On Holy Monday, the Lord Jesus overwhelmed me with his complaints. His sorrow also increases because of my family. Jesus said, "Do you see my hand begging for help, my little sister?" Many turn their eyes away, so they do not have to bear the sad look in my eyes. I am the one who draws close to them, but they just keep walking stubbornly the path of darkness. This is why my mother asked that her flame of love light up on the earth in order to enlighten souls. To accomplish this, she asks for the drops of oil of your sacrifices. I tell you, and I promise with my divine word, that whenever you pray for someone, you will never be refused, because the drops of oil of your sacrifices not only fall on the lamps of souls, but also upon my wounds, which burn with fever. These drops are like refreshing balm. My Elizabeth, the man God thanks you for this. Do not excuse yourself. I must act this way because I am also a man, and I share your feelings. When you make sacrifices for my work of redemption, I am in debt to you. I can say this in another way. You buy me with your favors, and an overflowing happiness fills me. When he finished speaking, he allowed me to experience in my heart what he feels when he sees our compassionate love. Suffer for others. May 1965. I went to the doctor. After his first examination, he said he could find no illness. He said that the sufferings about which I complain do not come from any illness, but that I carry the sufferings of others. I have no problem with my nerves. They are completely in order. So that the examination would be complete, he sent me for laboratory tests. They were completed within a week, and I returned for the results. After reading the results, he said that I had a little anemia that is totally insignificant. Again, no sickness was detected, and he did not prescribe any medication. He recommended a thermal bath in lukewarm water, but only when the weather will be warmer. His only explanation was that I take the sufferings of others upon myself, and that my nervous system is extraordinarily sensitive and reacts in an extraordinary way to everything. This brings about the many sufferings. On this subject, I could not express another opinion. This doctor did not know me, and he was not aware of any of the circumstances of my life. One can imagine that my children, who knew that I was talking incessantly about my ill health and my continual weakness, were awaiting with very great interest the results of the examination. They learned with much surprise that according to the doctor's diagnosis, I did not suffer from any illness. They found this strange, and I continued to suffer as before.